Internet, what is up? It's 2024, and Kato and I are back. The Lone Element Podcast is back, and this episode of the podcast is brought to you by Unity Tactical. In case you've been living under a rock and you don't know who Unity Tactical is, they're good friends of ours, and they make amazing products. We have several of them. They make largely weapons accessories, and they do a great job. They have awesome switches, the new Axon switching system. They have the new product, the gas cap, which is a new tail cap for lights, for weapon-mounted lights, and it's got a push-button capability. And then they've set a new standard with using a USB-C interface for their cabling on their switching. So go check them out. They have all kinds of other awesome stuff, all kinds of optics mounts, all kinds of other accessories, fore grips. They make an awesome nod shroud, lightweight nod shroud. If you have night vision goggles and you are in the market to put a new shroud on your helmet system, they have all kinds of awesome gear. And they're good folks. They're good people. And we've known them in the industry for a long time. So go check them out at www.unitytactical.com. We're happy to have them on board, working with them this year. So go check them out. Awesome company, awesome people. Can't say enough good things about them. And with that, we will dive into our first podcast of 2024, where Kato and I sit down and we do a 23 year in review and then recap SHOT Show, which we just returned from. So hope you guys enjoy it. Peace. Hello, Internet. Welcome back.
We're back.
It's 2024. We're back.
There you go.
We have lots of fucking ground to cover on this one. How's your sharing? How's your Green Dragon?
Really good. Thank you, Sons of Liberty.
Thank you, Sons of Liberty Gunworks. We had a fantastic conversation with a man named Philip. I don't know what Philip... Do you remember what Philip does?
I know he's testing a 6mm Max in competition right now.
Yeah, we'll get to that. We'll get to the 6mm Max. Yeah, we had a great... We had so many good interactions, but yeah, we had a successful end to 23. 23 went by faster than... I think it's been the fastest year in my mind that has gone by. Like, one moment the year was starting. One moment I was at SHOT Show, and then the next moment I was at SHOT Show
Yeah,
again.
I believe that.
And I was like, what the fuck happened?
You're like, oh, it's summer. Oh, it's hunting season.
Yeah.
Oh, snowfall. Oh, SHOT Show.
Oh, Australia.
Yeah, you went to Australia. I had to deal with Christmas stuff.
Yeah, I had a fantastic... Well, I mean, 23 was a bumpy road. Okay, 23 was a bumpy road, but we're getting... The ship is... We got the water bailed out of the bottom of the boat. Everything's been repaired. We got fucking nice wind in the sails, and we're on heading. And the waters are smooth right now. So, like, yeah, 23 was a little rowdy. It was a little rugged. It's fine. That shit happens. If people really knew what the fuck happened that last year, they would be like, Jesus Christ, Brian, like, what? I'll just give you guys the nutshell abridged version. Had a great vacation in Australia, was approached by a fellow, wanted to do a business, pitched me a business plan. I met Kate. Kate was awesome. Everything was going good. I decided to pursue this business plan because it sounded really lucrative and really good, and who doesn't want to be a multinational entity? So, yeah, I tried to give that a go. Then what happened? My cousin died, who I loved dearly. Then my great aunt died right after that. And then my mother, who I'm estranged from, reached back out to me, and I did what I normally do, which is like, we're on like iteration 6 of this little fucking nut circus that I call of my relationship with my family, where I give them, I believe their bullshit, and I'm like, oh, you've changed this time. Okay, cool. Well, let's give that a go. And then it usually takes about 3 to 4 weeks to proof out the fact that they're still, in fact, pieces of shit. So I went through that little emotional rodeo and then had a great summer. The summer was actually fun. Moved out of my apartment, shut everything down, sold a bunch of stuff, put it in storage. Everything was going good.
All in preparation for Australia.
Got to Australia. Kate had a freak out. Fucking pulled the rug out from underneath me. My business partner ghosted. So there I was in Australia. Fucking was like, oh, fuck, what now? Thank fuck for Griff at Combat Flip Flops, my fucking best homie in the world. He was like, yeah, bro, I just bought a house in Hawaii. Just head over to Hawaii and hang out. So I went to Hawaii. While I was in Hawaii, Kate decided she in fact made bad life decisions. You fucking girls out there, I'll tell you what. Anyway.
Bipolar.
Yeah, she's not bipolar. She's just fucking traumatized heavily by her last relationship, and let that trauma fucking creep back in. Tell her basically tell her negative self-talk, telling her fucking false little fairy tales that she then fucking freaked out about and decided to action based on zero evidence. We had a great, everything was good for 7 or 8 months. No red flags, no craziness, no fighting. We have a fucking fantastic relationship, and that ship is back on heading again. But there was a fucking huge fuck up in the road, which I had to fly to Hawaii, take time out, and she called me back. She's like, I was wrong. I fucked up. I'm sorry. Humans deserve second, third, and sometimes fourth chances, I guess. So I was like, all right, cool. I'll give you one more at bat. Flew back over there, and we got everything fixed and sorted and successfully had our first living together evolution, and that went great. Went fantastic. Had a great holiday season, other than the fact that they don't celebrate Thanksgiving over there. They have no fucking clue what Thanksgiving is. So I just worked.
Yeah, but they've got other holidays.
Yeah, I just haven't experienced them yet.
You'll be back for Anzac Day.
I got to go. I basically just worked through Thanksgiving, which is fine because work is my passion. I'm a freak about it. So, as you know. So, I worked through Thanksgiving. Then we had a good Christmas. It was really weird not having snow for Christmas.
Yeah.
That was strange. It didn't even feel like Christmas. One day one day you wake up in a beautiful blue sky, 90-degree, amazing tropical place.
They're still playing Christmas music?
And they were playing Christmas music. And I was like, what the fuck's happening? Oh shit, it's Christmas time.
Oh, right. That's happening.
Yeah, it's happening right now. So we did that. Christmas was great.
Released the rifle sling.
We released the rifle sling, which is getting some good traction.
Everyone seems to like it.
Everybody seems to love it. We're doing, in case you guys didn't know, shameless plug. Okay, my company, my product company, Orion Design Group, ODG USA, on Instagram, if you're so inclined. www.odgusa.co. It's a .co, people, not to be confused with the .com. It's not .com.
Yeah,
it is
it brings you to a whole different other website.
Yeah, brings
it's
you to
.co.
Olympic Development Group or something for I don't know.
Somewhere in Colorado.
Yeah, somewhere in Colorado. It's not us. It is not in fact us. But we launched a sling. And to all of you out there that are like, Brian, where the fuck are the helmet covers? They are coming, people. We will get them back on track.
They're being redesigned.
That once again, the rodeo that I had last year, one of the rodeos that I had last year on the business front was dealing with a vendor that had 10 years of fucking great performance and then decided to sell the company and didn't tell me they were selling the company and just thought I was dumb and wouldn't find out about it, and then moved out of their place and shut down their production and then lost all my samples and then lost all of our design materials and then fuck the dog super hard and didn't deliver me product. That we had to go back through the whole design process all over again. Mm-hmm. I had to completely redesign a product that had been going gangbusters for 10 years. Smooth sailing. Thank God for Ken Beasley.
Yep.
I love that man.
And if you didn't know, that's the Clone Correct helmet cover for the SAS and SBS.
Yes, if you didn't know that, we are the official helmet cover of our fine special operations folks across the pond in Great Britain and all of UK. All of UK soft wears our fucking helmet cover. So, love you guys. Cheers to you, mates. Anyway, Ken Beasley was the vice president of operations at a company I'm not going to say. But if you do your research, you can fucking quickly figure out who it is. And they let him go in the process of this acquisition. And he has since fucking landed and found a great home with some of our great homies, but that's not my story to tell, so I'm not going to tell it. But he has since landed on his feet and is doing fucking quite well.
I think he'll be happy.
He's going to be amazingly happy working for the people that he's working from, who are some of our best homies in the industry, which, for those of you that have been following the journey long enough, I'm sure you can figure out who that is. They're in Virginia Beach too. Anyway, so that happened, and we had to go right through the design process. Then they didn't deliver product for 8 months. We had to redesign everything. Then they fucking put out the first run of the redesigned shit, and it was wrong. It was wrong. Well, it wasn't wrong. Their QA/QC sucked, and we had a bunch of returns that we had to work through. and a bunch of refunds that we had to give, which I don't blame people. Like, fucking if your gears, like.
No, it was wrong.
It was wrong. Fucking, yeah, it was fucked. Okay, I'll admit it. I'll take responsibility for it. There's no excuse making over here.
This is what happens in manufacturing.
Yeah, it's certainly.
Like it or not, it's part of it.
Yeah, if being in business was easy, and certainly if manufacturing was easy and making products that are berry compliant and U.S. made in this country was easy, everybody'd be fucking doing it. Everybody's not doing it. And there's a reason why everybody's not doing it.
Yep.
So we had to go through that, had to live through that little fucking horrible ordeal to get to the end of it for them to tell me, these are just too hard for us to make, so we can't make them anymore. Mm-hmm. Thank you for wasting fucking my whole entire year.
Yep, 10 months.
I fucking hope who is ever running London Bridge Trading Company now gets hit by a goddamn bus and has to Stephen Hawking himself around with a fucking straw in a wheelchair for the rest of his life. Because you people fucking suck over there.
Well.
And that's all I'm going to say about that.
You're not a SEAL, so you don't get special treatment.
I know. I'm not a fucking Navy SEAL, so I don't get special treatment, but it's okay. I just designed better gear than those cunts do. Anyway, and I'm just kidding. I love Navy SEALs. Everybody knows that. Hoo-yah, Master Chief. Anyway, that was fucking last year.
Mm-hmm.
So I was happy to see last year go. I was happy to see it go. So, but had a great holiday season with Kate. Then it was SHOT Show time again. So I had to fucking jump on the plane, which was fine because my visa was coming. My fucking that.
Yeah, you had to leave the country for a bit.
My 3-month tours visa was coming to an end anyway, so I had to leave anyway. So it was good timing. Jumped on the plane. 27-hour transit later.
It's a long flight across the Pacific.
Jeez,
Pacific is massive. I don't think people realize.
I mean, it was only a 13-hour flight to get from Sydney to LAX. But then when you get to LAX and you're like on a completely different time zone at like 5:30 a.m., like you have to wait for your flight to actually happen that day. So I got to spend 7 hours in LAX.
Right, but I can get from Texas to Europe in like 8.5 hours.
Yeah,
and that's like.
I know.
4 hours less than being in the air.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, it's a long fucking flight. It's not the longest flight I've ever done. The longest flight I ever did was L.A. to Dubai.
Middle East somewhere, yeah.
I think that was like 27 or 28 hours on a plane. 26 hours on a plane.
Or like Sydney to London.
Yeah, it was Yeah, Sydney to London's brutal too. I think that's like 30 hours. I think that's a 30-hour flight.
Like door to door?
Yeah, door to door is a 30-hour flight.
Oh.
Yeah. Kate did that earlier last year. She went and saw her family.
Yeah.
Took a vacation, went and watched the Katie Taylor fight in Ireland. Anyway,
all right.
So that was 23. I was fucking glad to see 23 come to a conclusion, and now here we are in 24. SHOT Show 24. It was my fucking 20th SHOT Show.
Yeah.
I went to SHOT Show in 2004. I was invited by the fine folks over at Surefire back in the day. I used to have great relationship and great connects there, and I consulted with Surefire for about 5 years. Successfully put out some amazing fucking great products. That company continues to piss me the fuck off because they've gone in a huge development circle.
Yeah.
Like we knew things about product that they were making that we knew from like being in war and like shooting dudes. Like you need a hotspot to remove visual horizon. You need great candela. You need throw. Mm-hmm. So you can identify threats at range. And so that you can maximize your light and to use it under glass. Magnified glass, and to also really do a great job of like melting people's eyeballs out when you're shooting at close range.
I mean, that happened with the release of the next, like the middle turbo, like the Surefire Turbo. No, not the Turbo, the Ultra. When they went to 1,000 lumens or 750 lumens or whatever,
well, they came out with
super wide beam, and everyone still thought the original X300s were better.
Because they had more throw.
Was better. Yeah,
less lumens, but they had more throw.
Correct.
So,
and now they're back to having candela.
Yeah, but like I just laughed hysterically like watching the last like Surefire note, like what is it, field notes, the little videos they do on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
And they've like it's like watching cavemen who've discovered fire for the first time, even though they discovered fire fucking back in the like early 2000s.
Yeah.
You guys went in a Surefire. You guys just went in a huge development
circle. Or was it just
circle.
Technology? Like, because we know how manufacturing works, right? And it's like, okay, all of a sudden Cree releases a bunch of LEDs that are 750 lumens and like what? No, it would be like 500 lumens or 600 lumens and 1,000 candela or whatever it is, right? Or 1,000 lumens and 650. And then everyone's like, oh no, give me throw. And then they figured out how to make an LED that does do the lumens you want and the candela you want. And then it became available to everyone.
Well,
So how much of it is a design team thing versus like a manufacturing
well,
technology
okay,
thing?
yes, correct. But there's also like I can tell you this because I know this from like working there for 5 fucking years. Your beam shape is due to your reflector shape. So you can have a mediocre fucking, and we proved that out. We proved that out with what you just said early back in the day with like, okay, we didn't have LEDs were like a new thing that we started doing, and like yes, we couldn't get the lumens that we wanted out of them with the power source that we were using. But because we were able to shape the reflector the way we wanted to,
get the candela
we could
to
get the
throw.
candela in the throw where we wanted it
Yep.
with a fucking low lumen light.
Yep.
So, yeah, they just came up with this fucking horse shit that they called max vision beam technology, where they fucking changed the shape of the reflector and made it shallow, and they spread the beam out to make it super floody, and basically neutered the fucking capability of the light.
You got all the lumens and none of the candela.
Yeah, so now I've got my fucking Mark 18, which allows me to fucking headshot zap people at 500 meters pretty seamlessly. And then you fucking chop the balls off of my fucking weapon light and give me like a light that I can see 20 meters with. Good job. How about fucking no? You fucked up.
And it spills everywhere and blinds you.
Yeah, and then let's talk about switching, who everybody, still to this day, everybody, because they fucking, it drives me crazy. I'm going to say this again, people. Pay attention, because this is going to be a theme as we get into training and get our training programs for low light back up this year and begin educating not only the masses, but everybody in industry. Strobing is not a function of the light. It's a technique that you employ to distract, disorient, and destroy a threat. So it's basically flashing the light in a certain sequence with a certain time dispersion between flashes that help maximize the disorientation of the person that you're, of your adversary, essentially. Yep. It's not a fucking little turbo function on your light that's like
dance. Like
it's not that.
But it works so well in Kick-Ass.
No, it's actually factually doesn't fucking. It's just bullshit. Anyway, okay. So how does that equate to switching? I cannot strobe a light, and I'm speaking in regard to like handheld lights, or if you're stupid like Clown Defensive and you use fucking goddamn this like double tap shit on your fucking pressure switch. Like for constant on, like you can't strobe if you double tap your tape switch and it turns it to constant on mode. You can't strobe if you're using a handheld and you press the button and it discharges in the high setting, and then the next press that you use because you need to strobe the light is in a low 5 lumen setting. Like you can't use that technique, and that's one of the main techniques that like disorients people and allows you to get ahead of them in the OODA loop cycle and fucking reduce your threat, as we say in the biz. So, yeah, the light industry is still all fucked up with the functionality of switching.
Well, yeah, you're just mad that the head that you want doesn't come with the tail switch that you want.
It's fine.
Because they marketed it as a everyday carry sort of light, not exactly I'm going to use this to blind someone and then shoot them in the face.
Yeah. So anyway, Surefire has gone in a complete development loop, and now they're like, oh yes, now we've got these turbo heads, and they're giving you the output and the lumens and candela that you want.
100,000 candela.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so LEDs are better, and we can get 100,000 candela, and we can get like 700 lumens. But guess what? We knew that throw and candela was in a hot spot was important in 2001.
Mm-hmm.
Literally like 23 fucking years ago, we knew that this was the way to go. And because Surefire in their infinite wisdom fucking purged out all the people that had actually shot human beings with lights on their guns from the company, you get engineer nerds that run unchecked and just come up with these fucking wild ass scientific fucking great ideas that are completely unproven. That was what was great about the Surefire Institute back in the day, is like we would take the product, we would test the product, we would fight we'd fight each other in a force on force capacity with paintball guns. We would figure out what works good and what doesn't work good. And then we would go give that data back to the engineering team, and the engineering team would take our end user input and they would fucking put it in the development of light. That's one of the things that catapulted the success of that company, is they had direct end user input via a training entity with very experienced people that were putting in fantastic R&D input on a weekly basis.
Yeah, they were small enough to deal with it. They're not like, oh, we have to do a gazillion run of RC2s, so we can't do light research.
So anyway, welcome back to the party, Surefire. It's good. It's glad you're here.
Yeah, I like their
you only created like 6 different competitors that built what the industry, the customers, and commercial industry asked for.
It's okay. The Mod Lite isn't still not as good as a X300 Turbo.
No, it's not. Not in any capacity.
No, everyone should just have an X300 Turbo.
The X300
currently.
Turbo is sick.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, they're back on track. Surefire, you're back on track. Keep going in this direction. Okay.
Now release the dual fuel turbo heads.
Right.
Just the heads.
Just the heads, so I can put them on my light bodies. So anyway, yes. But Surefire, back in the day, my alma mater to the industry, they brought me in, and 2004 was awesome.
How funny was it to watch the Olight crew ogle all the Surefire switches this year?
Yeah, so we went by the Surefire booth, and like we're talking to people, and we're standing in there, and while we're standing in there, the Olight people, who surprisingly, shockingly were all Chinese, showed up and were like standing in the booth, talking in Chinese,
taking pictures of all
the weapon lights and finger fucking everything. And I had to walk over to the lady one of the ladies that I just had a conversation with, and I was like, "Hey, Olight's over there, like basically ripping you guys off right now."
She was like, "Oh, okay."
Okay, and then she went and I think got somebody and had them removed. But the brazenness. I'm gonna tell you what, like if ODG is ever big enough to have a booth on the SHOT Show floor, and I get fucking Chinese competitors show up in my, like,
I'd scold them.
I know. I'd just send you over to them and be like, yell at them in Chinese.
No, I'd talk to them really friendly in Chinese and see what they're doing, and then yell at them.
And then I'd come up and I'd fucking scream at them, just to fucking.
No, I think Kevin Brittingham's got it right. It's just you have your stuff sprinkled through everyone's booths at the SHOT Show.
Mm.
That's how you do a booth.
Mm. You just put your stuff in other people's booths.
Yeah, everyone's just running your shit anyway.
Yeah, I don't think there was no Q booth, was there?
No.
Yeah, we saw Kevin at the show.
Yeah,
walking around with no badge on.
That's how you know that you're famous and you're a big shot. Is you can go to SHOT Show and walk around and not need a badge, and no one gives you shit.
And he was
for
definitely strutting around like he owned the place too.
I mean, he kind of does. I mean, certain things.
It's fucking funny. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. Hopefully, we can get him on the podcast at some point.
Yeah.
So yeah, but SHOT Show overall, it was 20 fucking years. 20 years, and sometimes the more things change, the more things stay the same.
So what has changed in 20 years?
The size of the show, for sure, and quality of equipment. I mean, the GWAT obviously drove innovation super, super hard, and I think that continues to proliferate and continues to go. Like, I think companies learn the value finally of, like, staying one step ahead and like trying to continue to innovate and put out good product. I mean, some companies don't. Some companies sit on their ass and are content and like don't even put up any cool shit in their booth because they're so fucking big and dominant in the industry. Not going to say any names or anything. Knight's Armament Company, but they
had a booth.
Yeah, with fucking nothing in it.
They
just won the KS. They just won that KS1 contract. They didn't even have a KS1 rifle in there.
They did.
They did not.
They did.
They did not. We saw the KS1 rifle in the Reptilia booth.
That was the clone correct KS1, but they did have a KS1. We have the stickers.
Fucking anyway.
I picked it up.
They weren't even engaging customers. They did Knights did like, of course, the bare minimum to get by with fucking their SHOT Show presence. It was kind of weak.
It was for government meetings.
It was fucking weak sauce. It was weak sauce. But anyway, I mean, they're juggernauts. Knights is they're juggernaut in the industry. I love their guns. Best out of the box fucking gun I've ever shot to this day. Yeah. Why would you say that? Why would you say
I don't know. Because you were like talking mad smack about really liking a different gun the other day. So I think it just depends on your mood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well,
some days you're a custom
gun
kind of guy, and some days you're a Knights Armament kind of guy.
I mean, I just like okay. So let me just restate. Okay, best production gun out of a box.
Direct impingement production gun.
Yes. Knights does a great job. Anyway, the gun that you're referring to, would be a cat gun.
Yes.
Because we had a private range sesh with our fucking homies over at Cat.
We're just jumping all over the place on this one.
No, I mean it's SHOT Show. We're just gonna we're just gonna continue to go down the road here. So SHOT Show.
Would you say that was the SHOT Show highlight?
Ooh, let me think about that for a second. No, I would. To be honest with you, do you want to know what my SHOT Show highlight was?
Mike Pappas.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I've had this, like, what they say, you like never meet your heroes type shit, like, because you'll be disappointed because they're fucking cocksuckers usually, or they're weird and autistic, like Hop. who we got
We
to
did
meet.
meet. We got to meet Brass Facts and Hop.
What's his name? Aaron Brock?
Adam Brock? Brock Adam?
Brock Adam. Brass Facts fella?
Yep.
Super friendly, great, fucking hilarious dude. Enjoyed our conversation with him. Hop was with him, and Hop not only like didn't make eye contact with me when he shook my hand, but he just like stood awkwardly off to the side and drank his beer in silence while you and I talked to
Brass Facts.
old Mr. Brass Facts.
Yep.
Which, if you guys haven't checked out either one of their channels on YouTube, Hop's channel is, and Hop, he's also he's
part of the Firearm blog.
Yeah, he's part of the Firearm blog, and they do a good job too. But yeah, Brass Facts, great YouTube channel. Met both those guys, talked to them. But my highlight of the show, okay, because usually when I meet people like that are like I'm using air quotations for those of you who can't see me, air quotations, famous in the industry. I'm largely usually disappointed because they're either dicks or they just are so fucking creatively brilliant they can't carry on a conversation, and you can just tell they're full of anxiety and they just can't wait to exit the conversation because they're not people. They're not people. Yeah, they can't do.
They should be locked in a
they
design
shouldn't
room
even come to SHOT Show.
Yes, correct.
They shouldn't even come to SHOT Show.
Yeah.
So I've had several of those interactions over the years. But Mike Pappas, number one, for being a founder of a company, he was working the booth. Mm-hmm. And he's fucking hilarious. And I just walked up to him and I was like, hey, Mike, introduced myself to him and we struck up a conversation. And he sat there and he talked to us for what, an hour?
Close to, yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that. 40 minutes, 30 minutes.
Yeah. And we talked about all kinds of things.
Yeah, we walked up and he was just like sitting there in the corner. No one was talking to him. Yep. And we're like, hey, we hear you have a new 8.6 Blackout can. And he was like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, here, check it out.
Yeah, it's over there. They've got it.
Mm-hmm. So for all of you out there that are very familiar with all the drama the dead air suppressors have had over, the last year?
Yeah,
year and a half. Okay, so what happened to them essentially happened to us. They had a fucking bad manufacturer that they were contracting to manufacture their product that fucking didn't do a good job on the QA/QC and manufactured a bunch of shit product and put it out, and they shipped it and had massive problems with a large batch of their product, and they have corrected the problem by sourcing a new vendor that uses 3D printing instead of welding.
Correct. And
the new line of cans, which I will be all at some point. I mean, obviously they have to sell through all of their old inventory. Will probably at some point be all 3D printed.
I'm assuming they're going to.
I mean, 3D printing is going to be the new standard manufacturing for suppressors. It's only a matter of time. So
it's a different design envelope. So
yeah. I mean, you can do way more with
Correct.
it. You can. I mean, that's why you've seen such an explosion in suppressors, and you've seen the performance of suppressors jump in terms of what they can do is because of the 3D additive manufacturing process.
Yep.
i.e. 3D printing.
You can just create way more complex geometries.
Yes, you can.
Than you can with
things that you cannot machine.
Correct.
Yeah. There's things you can do with 3D printing that tools on a 5-axis, 10-axis, 14-axis CNC just can't do.
Yep. Or would take like 15 hours to mill out one part.
Yeah, correct. So it's cost ineffective.
But yeah, their new line of Nomad and Nomax are all 3D printed.
Mm-hmm. And they've got a new 6mm suppressor called the Lazarus that is it's adjustable.
Yep.
It's got an adjustable gas.
You can tune your gas for your blowback or flow through.
Yep, you can tune your gas. Oh no.
Oh no, I use flow through.
Flow through. Fucking no, it's trademarked. Oh yeah. Anyway, I'm not even going to go down that rabbit hole. I've got some lovely things to say about that company, but I'm not going to.
But yeah, Mike Pappas.
Mike Pappas was awesome. He was a fucking...
He's like your best neighbor that you could ever have.
Yeah.
Some dude walked up, was like, I need help with my tractor.
Yeah.
And he was all into it.
Yeah. He's like, I need help with my tractor, and I got some new hydraulic line. He was like, yeah, count me in.
Shoot me a text.
Yeah, shoot me a text. I'll come over and like help you work on it.
I was like, dude. And I don't think anyone's really had anything bad to say about Mike Pappas that I know of.
He was one of the nicest guys.
Yeah.
And I even told him to his face. I was like, this is a case of like meet your heroes that turned out really well.
Right.
It was a pleasant surprise. And spoiler alert, he has agreed to come on the podcast. So we will be podcasting Mike, and we will be revisiting all of this. But he was a fucking breath of fresh air and was making so many jokes. He's hilarious. He's like, yeah, I'm just standing over here getting a urinary tract infection because I can't, I got to piss and I can't leave this fucking shelf here that's got all these suppressors on it.
Yep.
I was like, Mike, are these inert? And he's like, no. No, they just had They just had fucking tables of suppressors laying
Yeah,
out for people
for
to
everyone
finger
to go
fuck
look.
and
Yep.
yeah, and so because they had actual real suppressors out on the table that were not cabled down, you'd think that they'd have those like little like pulley retention cables so that like you could
they're like hub threaded in.
yeah, like you could pick them up and like finger fuck, but they're like cabled to the table so you can't run off with them.
Nope.
Because there are cunts that come to SHOT Show and steal shit.
Yep.
But
But yeah, we had the whole lineup, like educational, talk with Mike Pappas.
yeah, it was fucking awesome. That was probably my highlight of the show.
Showed us the new heat shield that they've got.
Mm-hmm.
It was behind glass, but
Yeah. We'll get to finger fuck that
Yeah.
when we go to the pod. We're gonna go down and do like
there was one. We just couldn't access it. It was in a meeting.
yeah, we're gonna go to their headquarters and sit down and talk. Yeah, he was fucking awesome. What else was the highlight of the show? Or what else was another win for me at the show was obviously our Unity folks.
Yep.
Like seeing Trent and Hallie and Jace and my good friend Mike Roth over there, talking to them, doing a product spot for them, and having the audio fucking shit the bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens.
It happens. But it was really fun.
Yeah.
We filmed the Hungry Hungry Hippos video. We all had a good laugh.
Yeah, God, yeah. And that's what SHOT Show is, people. There's just this subculture of humans that attend SHOT Show. I don't even know how people like this get into the show. Somehow they
have credentials.
They fucking lie their ways into the show somehow, and they are just there for the free swag. Mm-hmm. They literally go from booth to booth.
There are people with like free, like they give you the bags that are sponsored bags for free to go walk around to put your free swag in.
Yeah. Yep.
And they walk around each booth and they take all the stickers and all the patches.
And there's some of them that don't just take one or two. No. Like one for me, one for my best friend. Yeah. One for me, one for my son. One for me, one for my daughter. One for me, one for my wife. Nope. They will fucking sweep the whole fucking table into their fucking little milk crate on wheels that they're towing around behind them. And we saw that happen a couple times.
It happened. We were talking about that at the Unity booth, and then it happened, and I filmed it, and we showed everyone, and we all had a good laugh.
Yeah.
It was funny.
And then we had a good friend of mine at CAT, old TS. He was like, why? This is his first SHOT Show, like working for a company and working booths, doing product stuff. He's a former operator, good friend of mine. He was like, what the fuck is wrong with people? I'm like, oh, this is your first show? And he's like, yeah. Well, he goes, my first show working the show. And I'm like, yeah. I'm like, yeah, it's a little bit different when you're standing in a booth and people are like fucking raping your stickers and patches and demanding T-shirts and they don't give a fuck.
And asking stupid questions.
Or they don't even care. They're not even there to see what your product is.
Yep. They're like, oh, sticker.
Yeah.
Swipe, move on to the next booth.
Yeah, they just saw that they were giving away free T-shirts, so they stepped up. One dude, he was like, I wanted to punch this guy in the face. He's like, just stepped up and didn't say hi, didn't say hello, didn't say, can I have a large shirt, please? Mm-hmm. There was no please. He just said large. Just stepped up in front of, we're going to have to bleep that, my friend TS, and said, large. And TS had to, like, give him a fucking shirt and wanted to also give him a fist in his face.
I believe it.
I'm also very excited. Sorry, I was drinking sherry. Our Green Dragon sherry. That's tasty. That was given to us by Sons of Liberty.
Yes.
They have a gun called the Broadsword that's coming out, and they've got this new round, the 6mm Max. And I've been watching this round
since it was announced.
And it is fucking awesome. It is what'd they do? They took a 350 Legend casing, and they necked it down to 6mm, and they made it run very, very good in a fucking 5.56 platform.
At lower pressures than 5.56.
And they're getting pretty much an 80 grain bullet to go 3,000 feet per second out of a 10.5 gun.
What did they call it? All the reps there were calling it going Mach Jesus.
Yeah, Mach Jesus.
Yeah.
Shit's going Mach Jesus, man. They're all from Texas. They're all a bunch of fucking maniacs from the trailer park in Texas. God bless all of them. They're like, yeah, shit's going Mach Jesus, man. And it is. Mm-hmm. Because 77 grain, which is the golden standard for killing humans out of a Mark 18, is lucky if it breaks 2,500. This shit's going 5 with a 3 grain heavier bullet is going 500 feet per second faster.
I think their numbers for 10.5, 5.56, 77 grain is 2406. Mm-hmm. And the 6mm Max out of a 10.5 inch 77 grain is going 2687. So 280 feet per second faster.
Okay, maybe I got my facts wrong. What was it? What was the one that was getting like 3,000 feet? Oh, that was the 55.
That was
grain.
55 grain going 3,165.
31. Yeah, 55 grain is going 3,100 feet per second out of a 10.5.
yeah.
So I'm sorry, I passed the wrong fucking couch there. But you can bet if you were shooting out of a 14.5.
Yeah, or 16.
Or a 16-inch gun, that 80 grain bullet would in fact be going 3,000 feet per second.
Or damn close.
Yeah.
I think they were saying like 28 or 29.
So, I'm excited to see what this fucking round can do.
No, I hope it gets supported.
Yeah, I hope it gets supported too. I hope it gets some traction. It becomes
replaces 5.56.
Yeah, it's time for 5.56 to like fucking. I mean, it's had a great. It's been in service for 70 fucking years. So like, okay, cool. It's time maybe that we, after 70 years, we take a look at maybe some new tech and figure out some new things and what bullets can do. Because we've got Chinese and Russian body armor that we need to pierce at fucking 700-800 meters.
Yeah, and that grain can go to 100 and 105, 108. Yeah. So you can get a payload in there.
And
like
what,
armor piercing 6mm, like that's never been done.
No, but it will be.
Yeah.
It will be. I promise you it will be. I promise you we probably met some little elves at the show that'll probably work.
That are shooting it.
That are working on that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we can't talk about that yet.
No, we can't talk about that yet. Yeah, SHOT Show was great. So yeah, had a great interaction with the Sons of Liberty folks. Had a great interaction. Oh, my other favorite thing, we posted it up. Nocturne Industries.
Yeah.
If you guys don't know who Nocturne Industries is, go check out Nocturne Industries. They are doing night vision accessories, and they came out with some new housings for dual tube goggles, the Katana, and the what was the other one? Manticore. I liked the Manticore because it's the
manual gain one.
Yeah, it's the manual gain. So they have push button manual gain, and here's why I like manual gain instead of auto gated tubes. First of all, auto gated tubes sometimes will like hiss and make weird fucking noises when they're like gating. And what I mean by auto gated is if there's too much light coming into the tube, like you're doing CQB and you just went from exterior to interior breach and the lights are still on for some reason, and now you've got like fucking room lights.
Yeah, or headlights.
Or headlights, yeah.
Street lights,
Yep. You're in the last covered and concealed position before you launch your assault, and you get a vehicle that drives by and shines headlights in your face. Like your tubes they have an auto gate, like they're auto gated, which means they will dim down by themselves to protect the tube, and keep your goggles from flaring out.
Yep.
So manual gain I like because you can set the amount of brightness coming through the tube due to the environmental that you're in. So like sometimes like if you're outside and the moon happens to be out, which you should by the book never be conducting reads like while the moon's out, but we do it.
No, but if you're recreationally moving around,
and there's
riding your e-bike,
right? Yeah, you're like
Jay
our friend,
the picture taker.
Yeah, you're like our homie, the picture taker that's just out there on his e-bike in the woods, and there's happens to be a full moon. You can actually adjust the amount of light coming in your tube so that it's not overpowering you or like putting a bunch of splash on your face.
It's not making it so bright that you lose peripheral vision.
Right, correct.
Because when you tune it properly, you can see what's in the tube. That's all nice and clear, and you can still see the stuff around you.
Yes. Yeah. If it's too bright, it overpowers your peripheral vision and you lose that, which is a problem. So manual gain is awesome.
Yep, they have like their normal models, which are 3D printed polymers, and then they have the ruggedized models, which are their metal housings.
And then
they're still really light.
Yeah, still very light. Yeah, even the metal ones were super lightweight.
Yep.
And then we had my absolute favorite, which was the Chimera Bridge, which they're putting the GP and VG 18 like ground panoramic panos as we call them.
It's like a better bridge for the pods.
The pods sit on this bridge that will articulate. So the L3 bridge, who were the original inventors of panos, flips straight up. It does not lay flat against your helmet. The pods don't roll up one at a time. You're stuck with what you got. You've got this amazing field of view. Opens your field of view up amazing. They're great for driving. They're great for CQB. But you can't articulate them. So with this particular setup, you can do all the ninja things that you can do with
you can throw
tubes.
2 pods up and run a thermal
and
look through it while still having 2 pods on the other eye if you want. Scan around.
Which in case and there was a teaser that went out. Somebody finally got a fucking picture of it. This set of goggles has actually been in development for I don't know a few years now. Our special mission unit guys have been running panos were a thing, but then they like came out with fusion panos, which is why you've seen panos become commercially available and also like start to drop in price, is because the new hotness is a pano with a thermal fusion overlay sensor in it built into the goggle, which gives you a thermal overlay capability.
I think it's Dark Industries.
So
They're doing that.
So that's
more capability.
Yeah, that's starting to happen. So that's why you're seeing like regular panos starting to, as if regular panos. That's a conundrum.
And if you have old like PVS 15s, Nocturne will also do a retrofit.
Yeah.
So they'll pull all the guts out and put it in a new housing that articulates.
They said they were going to do that for us.
Yeah. So that's cool.
I wonder if they'll be able to get rid of, like, those tubes are auto-gated, so I wonder if they'll be able to, like...
That's a tube-specific thing. I think you get one or the other.
So there's there's no way we can put them in a set of...
Nope, you get gas or diesel.
Damn.
Yeah.
Anyway, they're going to take a set of our 15s and
it was my first SHOT Show. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think I was overwhelmed with humans.
You were fucking massively overwhelmed.
Yeah, I was just like, oh my God.
You weren't expecting the show to be that big, I don't think.
No, absolutely not. And like, you can tell, like, there are humans that go there for vacation.
Mm-hmm.
And then there are humans that go there for strictly government work. And then there are humans that go there for like media work.
Yeah.
Or civilian buying and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it's pretty funny to see those groups of people roaming around trying to mix.
Yeah, I just found that, like, back in my younger years, like, I went on this, like, spectrum of SHOT Show where, like, when I was young, I would go there. Hardly any work, all the fun, all the parties, all the strip clubs.
Yeah, they're just going to check out all the new gear. They're not, like, meeting anyone or doing anything. They're just going to look at equipment.
Yep, I would go there and I'd just look at gear and I'd just party. And that's what I would do. And then I started growing into okay, well, actually I have to get some work done. So let's like split it into halves where I would like do some work, but then I would also still party. And then over time, it just got to be too fucking painful to just drink for 4 days straight and try and function.
Be professional.
And be professional in meetings. And so I just was like, oh, well, we're not going to do that anymore. So now here I am.
No, and like, you can't go there and see everything.
I mean, you can if we...
It'd be difficult. I don't think... Wait, how many booths? 5 minutes a booth, right? Like, do the math.
Yeah, I mean, you're only spending time at the booths that you want to stop. And you're not going to stop at every single booth. You could, in 5 days or 4 days, in 4 days, you could walk the aisles. You could, if you were just there to walk the show and just look at things.
Yeah.
You could do it, but it would be a lot. You would definitely be there for...
I think I would still miss a couple.
You would be there for 8 hours a day, 4 days in a row. And you would not be able to stop and spend a gratuitous amount of time at any one booth.
Yeah.
You would be able to walk by, maybe see something you like, go check it out, ask a couple questions, and then fuck off and be on to your next booth.
See, yeah. Like, I felt like we were just, like, walking through the show to get to meetings, and we weren't actually, like, looking... Like, it was, hey, Brian, dead air's over there. Dude, we got to go to this meeting. Hey, Brian, dead air's right there. It's like 10 feet away. Let's just go look at it. Mm-hmm. Okay, fine. Oh, my God, Mike Pappas.
Yeah. Yeah, we had a great... That was a great interaction.
Hold on. We found the Steiner booth. Like, let's run in right now before let's go back, you know?
Yeah, I mean, so there's been a huge proliferation. I said it correctly this time. Proliferation of a lot of things, like... There's been a lot of innovation at the show. Like, I saw all kinds of new weapon systems coming out. Like, fucking B&T launching their MP7.
It's not theirs.
But they're the ones that are fucking...
No, they had it in the booth.
I thought they have commercial rights to sell it.
It's Tommy built.
Okay.
The dude that makes the US-made G36s and HKs and stuff.
Okay.
He's doing it.
I thought
they had one in the booth.
I thought he gave them exclusive distribution rights or some shit, so that's why they had it. Okay, so anyway... Tommy built, yes, he did an MP7. So for those of you that have been out there screaming at HK to fucking put out an MP7, this fine gentleman came out with one, and it's
good luck because he had 3,000 orders for only 500.
Yeah, guns. He built like this was on the firearms blog. We watched the review video on the firearms blog this morning on YouTube, and they were like, yeah, he built 300 of them. He's got 300 units, and 500
units.
He's got 500 units, and he got 3,000 orders
when it was announced. Yeah. No, new weapon systems, primary arm, not primary arms, PWS, primary weapon systems, the UXR.
Yep.
Which is this like
space gun.
The ACR, SCAR,
MPX,
MPX, MCX, XCR, all of them bundled together, and hopefully, I want to see it succeed. I don't know how I feel about the looks of it, but I really do kind of want it to succeed.
I mean, it does look like a space gun. They might give it. We put it up on the page too. Like it was the one with the AK mag in it.
Yeah.
I want, because I have 5.56 guns coming out of my fucking asshole, and I have a 308 gun that we'll talk about here in a second. And I have a 300 black.
It's just one rifle, and you can buy whatever caliber conversion you want, and they're going to make it.
I want the fucking AK conversion, and I want the 8.6 blackout conversion for it. That's the thing that makes it different than all of its predecessors, is that you can
go from large frame to small frame.
Yes, large frame to small frame.
So you can't go from 308 to 5.56
the mag
to 6.5 to 7.62.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
pretty cool. Like that's refreshing to see.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, cool. Here's another take on something that the community is complaining about.
Right.
We never have caliber conversions. They always promise this. Oh, the rail bends. It doesn't hold zero.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So if more companies make
All
solutions for it,
problems.
then like someone will get it right eventually.
Oh, the fucking buttstock folds the wrong way and blocks the ejection port. I can't shoot it that way. I can't shoot it with the buttstock folded because it blocks the pistol grip. Like all kinds of different horse shit. So they fixed all of these problems. We got a great demo from them. One of their sales guys over there gave us a great demo.
So what's the coolest product? What do you want the most?
Oh man, that's a tough question.
Okay, optics wise, what do you want the most?
Oh yeah, well we didn't cover optics. Like that proliferation of all this gear, like there's been a huge surge in LPVOs.
And like 2 to 10s, 2 to 12s,
Yep.
2.5 to 15s.
Yep, 1 to 15s.
Yep.
Yeah, we saw all kinds of different optics. So we had time to stop and look at a few. First of all, the fine folks over at Trigicon are, in my opinion, doing a great job. Like the new 1 to 8 VCOG is fucking awesome. I don't know if I love the reticle options too much, but like it was a great choice for the Marine Corps in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
The new RCR, the new RMR HD,
Yep.
fucking awesome.
Crisp.
Very crisp. Then we went to the.
They're 1 to 10. Trigicon 1 to 10.
1 to 10 was their 1 to 6 was not great, as you pointed out.
I didn't like it.
It does not operate well in the 1 range. The 1 is more like 1.7 power.
It might be that scope. They get turned a lot.
Yeah.
Like there was a broken ACOG in the booth I pointed out. So.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, well, their 1 to 6, like we threw it up and it was like getting not one. It was like way more than 1 power magnification on 1. The 1 to 10 though wasn't bad. I like the 1 to 10.
Mm-hmm.
1 to 10 was good.
Decent reticle, pretty flat at 1.
Yep.
Power throw was smooth.
Yep.
Relatively light.
iBox was decent.
Yeah, in line. I would say in line.
Yeah. Yep.
Like everything currently that's a 1 to 10 is kind of tight at 10. So deal with it.
So Tridge was awesome. Overall, I give Tridge 2 thumbs up. Then we stopped at the Elcan booth.
Yep. Armacite.
Yep. And we
Armament Technologies.
Yeah,
that is. Yeah. Armament Tech.
Anyway, then they make the Elcan Spectres, and they also make
Tangent Theta.
Yeah.
And SAI.
SAI.
I like the SAI.
The SAI 1 to 6 was sick.
I like it.
It's nice.
It's like a improved Vortex 1 to 6.
It
with
is
a better reticle.
Yes, it's like a 1 to 6 with better reticle.
And like weight savings by a lot.
Yeah, it's way lighter, and it's got nice throw on the magnification, like butter.
I liked it at 1 power.
Yep,
I liked
1
the
power was
reticle.
good.
The illumination was great.
iBox was great. iBox was better than the Trigicon.
In like the sub $1,500 range, I like that.
Yeah, it's a $1,200 scope.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep, it's a nice scope. And then we went to Steiner.
Mm-hmm.
Steiner they have great glass. They do.
They always have.
They have great glass.
Yeah.
Their reticle options are not always.
They're getting there. They're better than Leupold.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
Yeah. Yes, they're. Yeah. Yes, if that's what we're using as a standard.
If we're talking about the new Steiner line that's relatively affordable versus the new Leupold Mark IVs.
Yeah.
I mean, we have friends at Leupold, but like, oh man, they're not. The reticles need some updating.
Yeah.
And I think they're doing it.
Yep.
Because the new guy that's there has been like not there for too long, and it probably takes mountains of work to change an old company's ways to update. And I understand that.
Yeah.
And they're trying. But this is like Leupold's first foray into the budget market in terms of like a $1,200 scope.
They're failing. Don't me.
Target market.
We laughed hysterically about all the memes that they have.
They're
currently.
memes. Of course we're going to laugh.
Like, the Leupold is shitting the bed.
If you don't want illumination for extra money and you want something in mills with really nice clicks,
here's what Leupold
that's
does.
relatively light, get a Leupold.
Yeah. Hey, we came out with the fucking lightest LPVO on the market, but guess what? Our reticle options suck. Or if you can get it in the magnification range you want, and with the reticle you want, you can't get it illuminated. Fucking hello, retards. Man, why not just make it an option for your fucking customers to get everything they want?
They'll figure it out eventually and fix it. It's fine.
Because I'm going to be honest with you. Like, I would love to have a Mark V with a trimmer 3 that's illuminated in it.
You can.
I can have a Mark V with a trimmer 3.
Yeah.
That's illuminated.
Yeah.
Are you sure it's illuminated?
Yeah. You just have to pay $500 more for the illumination.
Noted.
The Tremor 3s you can all get illuminated. It's Leupold's own reticles, like the PR1, PR2, PR3.
Which is the one you like?
I like the PR2, but it's not illuminated.
Yeah.
I like their standard mill Christmas tree that's nice and clean and simple.
That's not illuminated.
And it's not illuminated.
Yeah.
And like you can't get it in the 2 to 10 or the 2.5 to 10.
Which is the mag range we want.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the thing.
Maybe they're releasing some new really cool low power reticle that works at 2 power and 1 power, but until then, just buy Night Force.
Yeah, correct. Just go buy Night Force. Yeah. Although, I will say this. My absolute favorite piece of glass at the show that I was like, oh, fuck, yes, my prayers have been answered, was when we got our grubby little hands on the fucking KS1 rifle.
Aren't you glad I talked him into taking that off the wall?
Yes, I'm there.
Because it was locked up.
It was locked.
And I was like, gimme.
Yeah. Yeah, Steve, the CEO. Fucking great guy. Dude, he's a UK fella. Fucking awesome, dude. We had a great conversation with him, too. He pulled the KS1 rifle down and let us fuck
Clone Correct contract rifle with all their bits of kit on it.
Yep.
And the Razor AMG 1 to 10 shorty scope from Vortex that won that contract.
And that scope was sick.
Yeah. It's a little stiff. One was stiff, the other one wasn't as stiff.
That's the only thing that was wrong with it. Like, it was fucking short, lightweight, great eye box, great reticle, daylight bright illumination.
Yeah.
Fucking sick scope.
I know.
Both of us stood there and were like, what the fuck? I mean, it's clear why it won the contract. Absolutely clear why it won the contract.
Oh, yeah, and the reticle design, it's obvious.
Yeah.
The schooling that went into it.
Yeah, they maybe borrowed some concepts from other people for their reticle, but the reticle, I mean, it's a win all the way around. Like, that scope is fucking awesome, which means I'm going to have to talk to my Night Force people and be like, okay, I know you had a submission. I want it. Give me the submission.
They did. It was a Night Force ATACR 1 to 8 with a
Tremor
8.
They didn't do anything special to it?
Probably not.
Okay. Well, we're going to have to talk to them about it because that's the scope that's the scope everyone should be chasing for a fucking gas gun right now. Is that fucking scope.
For a 1 to whatever, yeah.
I'm like talking about
for
a gunfighting.
Yeah.
For a gunfighting scope.
Yep.
That's the scope everybody should be that's the gold standard that everybody should be like trying to chase right now.
I don't know, that 1 to 8 ATACR is really nice.
I
get why everyone really likes that scope.
It's gorgeous. I love that scope. I love that scope, but
it's not the same.
It was not.
There's a certain kind of cool about that short 1 to 10.
Yeah.
Because I have a Vortex 1 to 10.
Yeah.
And I've been shooting lots of rounds through it. And I went and looked at that little short one, and I went, oh, god damn it. Why can't they all be like the short one?
And it's light. They cut some weight out of that.
They must have, yeah.
Yeah, that was the first thing I noticed about it. I was like, oh shit, this thing is light.
There's a bunch of shit on this gun, and it's not too heavy.
Yeah. This gun was fully kitted out. Had a light on it, had a laser, had the night suppressor on it, had the heat shield on it.
Backup red dot.
Had the backup red dot, the acro stacked on top of the Vortex beautiful Reptilia mount.
Reptilia stock.
Yep.
Grip. QD sling swivels. Mount.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Yeah. They did a good
fucking
job.
Gorgeous gun. If I could get my hands on that gun, fucking A. I'd be a happy man.
Talks shit about Knights. Wants a Knights gun.
I wasn't talking shit about Knights. I was talking shit about their booth presence.
Their booth sucked.
It did. It sucked ass. Anyway. So, yeah, SHOT Show. It was a really good show. I feel like we have some really great opportunities in front of us and all kinds of connections. If all the people that I talked to at the show follow through on their podcast promises, we will have an amazing lineup going into 24.
Yeah.
But, I mean, and to be fair, it's going to be very industry specific. It's going to be very gun industry specific, but we've got some titans of industry that have agreed to come on.
Absolutely.
One of which we interviewed.
I was a little schoolgirl sitting in the background.
I know you were.
You can't introduce Ballistic Jesus and not expect me to
Yeah.
not fanboy out.
Yeah. Todd Hodnett will be on the podcast soon.
Yeah.
And for those of you that don't know who Todd Hodnett is, go do some research at Accuracy First.
Mm-hmm.
The man is, not only is he a phenomenal, just Texas, salt of the earth Texas cowboy, he is, I mean, him and Brian Litz have fucking done amazing things for the long range precision community that are just too long.
Everything you know about the long range shooting maths is down to those guys.
Yeah, down to those two. Yeah.
So
he was on the podcast and we did a funny, I think it's almost 3-hour podcast, but
it was 2 and a bit. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a fucking
barely covered anything.
Get your fucking notebook out
and
take some notes because we talk a lot of technical data.
Oh yeah,
a lot of it. That
how everyone
says
is
data driven.
Night Force, when you look through a Night Force scope and it look like the image looks a little further away from you versus say a Vortex where it's all big bright and the rest of it disappears.
Yep.
There's a reason for that, and Todd talks about it.
Yep. He certainly does.
And I always thought that was a detractor, between all the old the Euro style Schmidt benders and the attackers. Yep. And then he's like, oh, there's a reason why.
As it turns out, there's a reason for
you don't know what you don't know. Right. Okay, got it.
Yep. So yeah, there's a phenomenal podcast.
If you're into long range shooting, listen to that one.
I didn't talk much on that podcast because I was indeed I was also had my mental notebook out and I was just taking notes because I'm like, oh man, how often do you get to sit in front of a dude at this caliber for 3 hours and pick his brain?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, guy's a legend, and so you guys have that to look forward to. But yeah, we have some huge people that have committed to the podcast, and we'll be hopefully following through. So yeah, it was a fantastic show. Good things, big things are happening. Big things are happening this year. So yeah, it was good. Well, fuck, right at an hour. How perfect is that? Should we talk about the other cool thing that happened on the radio today that we were when we have to talk about 2 more things. We're right in an hour, but we can talk about 2 more things.
Okay.
One, we got in the truck to go to the range to shoot my new DD V3 that the fine folks at Daniel Defense sent
DD5 V3.
That's what I meant.
Yep.
DD5 3.
Yeah.
Thank you for correcting me.
They have a shitload of numbers
DD5
and letters in their
V3,
catalog,
which is the 16-inch 308 gas gun. Because I have a long history with Daniel Defense, and I used to work for them at one point in time during my consulting career. Great people, and they build good guns, and they sent me one just because they love me. So we went to the range to shoot that today to start breaking it in, and got in the truck and we're driving, and we were just talking about the future of humanity at our friend's house in Park City that we stayed at on the way home. And we watched the movie Ex Machina, which if you haven't watched Ex Machina,
go watch Ex
Machina to get reference on what I'm talking about. But I was like, this is our future. This is what we're staring down the barrel of right now. And just to fucking give you some teaser cliff notes on the movie, it's dude invents AI.
Sentient AI.
Go watch that movie. So we were talking about that, and we were talking about all of the technology leaps that our society has made. I went from drinking out of a garden hose and when I was a kid, no fucking internet, and shooting my friends with a fucking Red Ryder Daisy BB gun for fun, to now we have fucking AI and supercomputers that we all carry around in our pockets every day. So one of the things that we discussed was Neuralink. And Neuralink, for those of you who don't know, just had its first successful human trial. Today.
Well, they successfully implanted it or integrated it.
Yeah.
And we don't know how successful the successful is because they haven't tested it right, but he says it's working. So
yeah. So
neural spikes, they called it.
Yeah. Which is his brain activity in relation to what it's doing with the hardware that's been implanted.
Yeah, they're talking to each other.
Yeah. So buckle your seatbelts, people, because the next 5 to 10 years is either going to be really fucking awesome, or we're going to have T-800s running around and I'm going to need a phased plasma rifle and a 40-watt range.
The Creator.
Yeah. If you haven't seen that movie, Creator, that's another movie. Go check out that. That's probably a more realistic depiction of like what our future could potentially look like. iRobot, Will Smith did that like fucking a decade ago, maybe longer.
Yep.
It's another movie. Fucking go watch that one. That one's wild.
Be prepared.
Be prepared because we're on the precipice of that. So then that happened. And, you might love Elon like I do, or you might fucking hate him. Like millions of like half the planet does, but he's definitely innovating, maybe in ways that you don't agree with, but he's doing it. And
it's happening, like it or not.
Fucking happening. So buckle your seatbelts, people. Then we went to the range and we shot that rifle, and we're gonna do a YouTube. We will be doing a full review YouTube video on this gun. Initial impressions are, it's lightweight. I like the weight of it. I like the ergonomics of it. I like the pistol grip angle is nice. I don't like the buttstock because it's got rubber pads and it rips my beard out when I shoot it. So I don't love that. It'll be getting a buttstock change for sure. I love the ambi controls on them are actually really easy to use. Like ambi controls on some rifles, when you go to like hit the bolt release on the right hand side of the gun, you
with
like
your trigger finger.
You have to have like mutant fucking ninja like
gorilla hands.
You have to have like gorilla retard strength with your index finger to like get it to fucking push the button.
Yep.
Which pisses me off and kind of defeats the purpose of having ambi controls if they're too hard to use. So I normally just will fucking put a bad lever on, or I will just slap the ping pong panel like I've been trying to do over billions of reps. But the ambi controls on this large frame AR fucking ran like butter. Easy, super easy to hit that really bolt release. We had some feeding issues. The gun was lubed, and we still had 4 fucking double feeds.
Yep.
Using PMags.
New mag.
Brand new PMags. Using brand new PMags. Ammunition was like standard issue NATO M80 ball. 147 grain. And then we put some 168 grain Black Hills through it. And then we had like a few stray rounds of this Winchester, like hollow point boat tail match ammo. I'm assuming match ammo.
Mystery match. It says match on the brass.
Mystery match ammo that I don't know exactly what type of Winchester it is or like what grain the bullets are. But the gun hated the Winchester ammo. Like groups, like we zeroed. I'm using air quotations right now. Zeroed the fucking M80 ball.
Yeah.
And
you're glossing over so much.
Yeah, we're gonna get to those things.
And watch the video on YouTube eventually.
Let's just say out of the box, it was a 5 MOA gun, even with match ammo.
I mean, we're shooting the wrong scope, and there's an 18-pound trigger. So
yeah, the trigger fucking absolutely blows.
We just did a function test today.
Yeah. Yes.
And a little hey, hi, how are you?
The gun shoots. So let's little fast forward here. The battle rifle was doing battle rifle things, like 4-minute group at 100, and we fucking still with an Elcan Spectre banged fucking steel out to 600 with it. So it shoots minute of human. It's a fucking battle rifle.
It's good enough to hit a big plate.
Yeah, it's good enough to fucking shoot a human with, probably out to 600. But other than that,
to get actually good groups, we'll have to put a higher power scope on.
Yeah, we're gonna have to put a higher power scope, which hopefully our new friends at Night Force and Reptilia can help us out with. And we will keep you guys posted. But I have a whole case. We're gonna definitely put a new trigger in too. Trigger's getting tossed. I can't own a gun with a trigger like that. It's just fucking hard fail. So it's either gonna get a Geisley or it's gonna get a LaRue trigger. So yes, but that's how today went. So here we are.
Pretty much
2024. We're back on it, people. So hope you guys had a good holiday season wherever you're at on the globe. Thanks for joining us. We appreciate and love all you guys, but podcasts are back on the menu, and we'll be getting this one out first, and then to follow will be 2 episodes that we had at SHOT Show, and we'll be getting back in the saddle. So be expecting podcasts to start hitting regularly again. Hope you guys are well. Until next time, signing off from the Lone Element Podcast. Peace.
Anyone who runs is a VC. Anyone who stands still is a well-disciplined VC.